Hey guys, it's Bigwig here. I want to show y'all my AR and scope cam setup. First off, I have a Delton Echo 316 rifle. That's what it's based off of. It started out, it had the Magpul furniture, the carbine length forearm and everything, and now it has a Yankee Hill machine free float forearm with a low profile gas block. That helped out on the accuracy a lot. Next I have a Nikon M223 4x16. It has the built-in drop compensating turrets. It's also mounted on the M223 XR scope mount. It has like an extra 20 minutes of angle, so it lets you shoot a little further if your scope doesn't adjust as much. It also have a Burris fast fire mounted on a Weaver 45 offset rail. That allows me to switch to the reflex just by tilting the gun, 45 degrees or so. It helps a lot. The Nikon came with the ARD, the scope caps. Right now I still have the mil-spec trigger on it, which I hate. All mil-spec triggers are just heavy and have a ton of creep, and I hate them. I'm probably going to get a Timney as soon as I get the money. Now to the scope cam setup. First of all, I do not like putting anything on the scope. I don't like mounting flashlights or lasers or anything to the scope. It's just, I guess, OCD about that. Also want to state something, my rifle's dirty because I live on the farm and it's very dusty, and I use my rifle a lot, so she got used today and hasn't been cleaned up yet. But onto the scope cam. Since I don't like mounting anything on my scope, I have a secondary scope mounted on the 3 o'clock position Picatinny rail. This is a cheap Tasco El Cheapo. It's like 40 bucks. It's low quality and you can kind of tell in the videos, but it does the job. It's what I needed it to do. Here's the mount is an Orion SteadyPix camera mount. It's built for telescopes basically, but this little clamp right here will fit most scopes. It will not fit that scope, however. It needs a longer screw. It doesn't have enough threads on it to actually go in and start biting. But it fits this scope perfectly, so that's why I used it as well. Here is a Amazon.com phone tripod adapter. This part of the scope mount, this bottom part right here, is a tripod screw for screwing in cameras or different things to like a tripod, and this screws onto it, so it works perfectly, and you just snap a cell phone in there and voila, you have a scope cam. I'll show you all real quick. Now it is a little bit cumbersome and gets in the way sometimes. You have to have a bog pod, and I have to move it all the way up against the magazine well to be able to clear the phone and the scope. But it's really handy if you're only wanting to film shooting or a hunt. That's the only time I put them on. Bear with me here, these little mounts are not fun. It makes the rifle a little front heavy if you're not careful how much stuff you put on. If you put, say, a big SLR camera on the front, you're not gonna you're not gonna have a really good balance at all. That's why instead of putting one of our cameras, I just had the little adapter to put the cell phone on, and it's like having a touchscreen scope. Also, I have a ballistics app that tells me all my information on what the drop is going to be and with the wind and the humidity, but most of the time I just wing it. But this just has a spring that keeps tension on it, and you just slide this out and just pop your phone in, and turn my phone on. Just turn the camera on, and you just kind of play with it, get it all lined up, and you have a scope cam. Now, the only drawback is, since the scope is mounted on the side, it's not, the crosshairs don't match up to the crosshairs on the scope. So when you're shooting, it looks like I'm missing, but I'm actually aiming right on it. It's just that the scope's mounted off to the side, so it's offset. But it's a pretty cool setup to have. It helps when you're trying to do solo hunts and film it yourself. But overall, I love the Delton, made in the USA. I have not had any trouble. The only thing that I found wrong with it is when I was installing the forearm, I put the gun in a vise and I broke the bolt release. But I got another one. It's a nice rifle, performs well. At 100 yards, it'll put well, right now, since this has the mil-spec trigger in it, it's hard to keep it right. But if I had a Timney in it, I could probably bet that I could put half-inch groups. Every now and then I can put a jagged hole, but that's just uncommon. It's hard to be consistent with a 7-pound trigger that creeps and grinds all the way. But that's basically my setup. If you have any questions or comments, just post them on the video. I'll put up some hunting videos soon, but since I'm in Louisiana, it's very hot during the summer, and it's not fun sweating while you're trying to hunt. I will post some videos soon. Just keep in touch. Big Wig out.